nothing else like it in the whole world. It's infinitely more powerful than your own arm. This is not something alien. This is your arm. It will take orders from your brain. It will be alive to do what you want it to do.
In March 1973, an auspicious television movie aired that took American culture by storm. 2 more successful movies of the week later, and it was greenlit to become a regular television series that was highly successful. And then another. Like all kids, I was fascinated by these characters and ran around pretending I was just like them, imitating the iconic noise they made whenever they used their powers. The 1970s were the years that gave birth to 2 bionic superheroes, the $6 Million Man and the Bionic Woman. In 1972, a novel was written by Martin Caidin called Cyborg. Cyborg depicted the story of the fictional astronaut Steve Austin.
If you think this is the ass-kissingest son you ever saw, give me a hell yeah. What? What?
No, not that Steve Austin, who winds up crashing during a flight and losing 3 of his limbs and becoming blind in 1 eye. At the same time, there's a secret government organization called the OSO, or Office of Strategic Operations, that has been experimenting with bionic technology in hopes of being able to replace human body parts with prosthetics that would make them more powerful. When news of Austin's accident reaches the OSO, they order Austin's superiors to rebuild him using bionics as a test subject. He's given 2 new bionic legs which enable him to run at great speed, up to 60 miles per hour, a new bionic arm which is extremely strong, and a bionic eye which differs in the show from the book. Originally it was simply a removable eye that Steve could put a miniature camera in. In the show, he can see long distances by being able to zoom in at a 20-to-1 ratio, and was able to see in the dark using infrared and heat signatures. In the book, Steve Austin is referred to as a cyborg, as this is the literal definition of a human-machine hybrid. In the show, he was referred to as the $6 Million Man, as that was how much it cost to rebuild him, which is roughly $47 million today. Martin Caidin followed up Cyborg with 3 more novels featuring Austin. After the success of the novel, ABC wanted to adapt the book for a television movie. The original movie didn't have some of the defining things that the later television series had, such as the slow-motion running and the electronic sound effects, most notably the iconic sound of the bionics that all children, including myself, ran around mimicking. It also gave birth to the very popular catchphrase that is still recognizable to some people today. We can rebuild him. We have the technology.
Gentlemen, we can rebuild him. We have the technology.
Which was originally voiced over by Richard Anderson. To play the part of Steve Austin.
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
Shut up. They needed just the right actor. Enter a man already known for playing a level-headed tough guy in the TV show The Big Valley. Lee Majors. Harvey Lee Yeary was born April 23, 1939, in Wyandotte, Michigan, a suburb of Detroit. His father died during a work accident before he was born, and his mother died in a car accident when he was only 17 months old. Subsequently, Harvey was adopted by his Aunt Mildred and Uncle Harvey and moved to Middlesboro, Kentucky. He was athletic as a child. He ran track and played football, and when he graduated in 1957, he went to Indiana University and played for a year, then transferred to Eastern Kentucky University. Unfortunately, he suffered a severe back injury in the first game he played for Eastern and wound up paralyzed for 2 weeks. This squashed any ambitions he had for his athletic career. After this, he turned his attention to acting and performed in plays at the Pioneer Playhouse in Danville. Despite his injury during college, he received an offer from the St. Louis Cardinals football team to try out, but decided to move to Los Angeles instead. he found work at the Parks and Recreation Department as their director. During his time there, he got to know several actors and agents, including Dick Clayton, who had been James Dean's agent at one time. Clayton suggested he attend his acting school, and after 1 year, felt that Urie had the right stuff to become a professional. Harvey then decided to change his name to Lee Majors as a tribute to Johnny Majors, who was a player and later coach for the University of Tennessee. His first role was an uncredited appearance in the movie Strait Jacket in 1964. He then did a few television spots in Gunsmoke and The Alfred Hitchcock Hour, but his big break came when he was chosen for the role of Heath Barkley in the TV series The Big Valley, starring Barbara Stanwyck and a then unknown Linda Evans as his little sister. One of his character's catchphrases on the show was "Boy Howdy," which Majors improvised, and has since become an iconic saying attributed to Southern people in the United States. During the run of the series, Majors also co-starred in the film Will Penny, and landed the lead role in the TV movie The Ballad of Andy Crocker. He was offered a part in the now iconic movie Midnight Cowboy the same year, but had to turn it down because of his commitment to the Big Valley TV series. That role eventually went to Jon Voight. After the Big Valley's cancellation in 1969, Majors appeared in The Liberation of L.B. Jones and joined the cast of the TV show The Virginians in its final season. During this time of his career, Majors was also often referred to as the Blonde Elvis because of his facial similarity to the rock and roll legend. In 1971, Majors landed the role of Jess Brandon on the show Owen Marshall, Counselor at Law. His performance won him critical acclaim, and it helped him land the role he would be best remembered for in 1973 as Steve Austin in the $6 Million Man pilot movie, which of course became a hit series the next year. In 1977, Majors was having disputes with Universal Television to renegotiate his contract. Rumors spread that Majors was holding out for more money, but in reality he wanted his own newly formed production company, Fawcett Majors, named after himself and his then wife, actress Farrah Fawcett, to be brought in as an independent producer for the show. The studio eventually relented, but ratings were already declining, and The $6 Million Man was canceled in 1978. But a few years before the dispute, when the show was already riding high, a certain character introduction made the show even more popular, and cemented the legacy of a former model and contract player for Universal Productions for all time.
My right arm looks all right. What did they do?
It's more than all right. You see, Jamie, this is a very special hospital. They can rebuild you, even better than you were.
Rebuild?
It's a brand new science called bionics.
In 1975, the two-part episode titled The Bionic Woman aired during the second season of The $6 Million Man. The episodes introduced the character of Jamie Summers, an old flame of Austin's, and a professional tennis player. She is horribly hurt in a skydiving accident, and at the behest of Austin is given bionic parts, but her body rejects them and she dies. The episodes were so insanely popular, however, that they brought the character back the next season, saying she had been saved through an experimental cryogenic procedure. This led to the Bionic Woman getting her own spin-off series, which also was quite popular despite only running for 3 seasons. Summers was given the same abilities as Austin, with the exception that she had a bionic ear instead of an eye, so she could hear at great distances. The Bionic Woman was also canceled in 1978, but the two characters would reunite and appear in 3 made-for-TV movies: The Return of the $6 Million Man and the Bionic Woman in 1987, Bionic Showdown, The $6 Million Man and the Bionic Woman in 1989, and Bionic Ever After in 1994, where the two characters finally get married. Now, while it took a handsome, level-headed tough guy in Lee Majors to play Steve Austin, it took a certain charming, strong-willed, and beautiful actress to make Jamie Summers just as iconic as Steve Austin. And that actress was Lindsay Wagner. Lindsay Jean Wagner was born June 22, 1949, in Los Angeles, California. At the age of 7, her parents divorced, and Lindsay moved with her now remarried mother to Portland, Oregon, where Lindsay went to David Douglas High School. After graduation, she spent a few months in France before returning to enroll in the University of Oregon. She then transferred to Mount Hood Community College for 6 months before dropping out. She later was diagnosed with dyslexia, which was why she struggled so hard with her academics. After dropping out, she moved to Los Angeles and became a model. She cut her teeth in television by appearing as a hostess in a variety show Playboy After Dark, and then being a contestant on The Dating Game in 1969. In 1971, she signed on to be a contract player for Universal Productions, her first role being an appearance on the primetime show Adam 12. She made several appearances on other shows like The FBI, Sarge, Night Gallery, and interestingly enough, on Owen Marshall, Counselor at Law, where she first met her future co-star Lee Majors. She also appeared in 5 episodes of Marcus Welby, MD, and the pilot for the show The Rockford Files, starring James Garner. She then had a few movie roles in Two People and The Paper Chase. In 1975, she was wrapping up her contract with Universal when she was asked to play a part on the burgeoning hit TV show The $6 Million Man. Portraying the childhood sweetheart of Steve Austin, Jamie Summers, Wagner's performance was so well received by the audience that even though her character died in the two-parter, they retconned her death the next season and brought the character back for another 2-part episode. This eventually led to the network spinning off her character into the new show, The Bionic Woman, which ran for 3 seasons and was canceled the same year as The $6 Million Man. Wagner's performance in her own show was well received, and she even won an Emmy for Best Actress in the lead role in 1977. After The Bionic Woman's cancellation, Wagner continued to act in TV films and miniseries, as well as reviving her role as Jamie Summers in 3 reunion movies with Lee Majors. A few interesting notes about Lindsay Wagner's life. In the first season of The Bionic Woman, Wagner was in a car accident and suffered a permanent scar on her upper lip. In 1979, she was supposed to be a passenger on American Airlines Flight 191 from Chicago to LA when she backed out due to illness. That flight later crashed a few minutes after takeoff, killing all 271 people aboard in the worst non-terrorism related incident in American aviation history. And in the early 1980s, Wagner owned a home right next to Eddie Van Halen and his then wife Valerie Bertinelli. After Eddie built his giant studio to record behind his house, the noise was so disruptive that Wagner eventually had to move out, selling her house to Eddie and Valerie. Both The $6 Million Man and The Bionic Woman were iconic shows in the 70s. Lee Majors and Lindsay Wagner are still beloved for their portrayals of the bionic superheroes to this day, and the cultural impact of those 2 shows is still felt. I said before that every kid who grew up in the 70s and 80s knew who Steve Austin and Jamie Summers were, and at some point probably role-played as them. The iconic sound of the Bionics when they ran, or jumped, or crushed something with their bionic arms is legendary, and I still find myself thinking about those shows every now and then, even to this day. More than jumping 2 stories, having the strength of a bulldozer in their arms, or running as fast as a car, the power of those 2 bionic heroes was the ability to leave a lasting impression in all of our collective culture and minds.